Good morning, classes. Now, up to now, we have studied about we were learning about the salient features of the Constitution. We learned about single citizenship, universal adult franchise, and we learned about the fundamental rights that an Indian national enjoys. We learned about the right to equality mentioned in Articles 14 to 18, and we learned about equality before law, equality of opportunity, abolition of untouchability, and abolition of titles. Then we learnt about right to freedom, which is mentioned in Articles 19 to 22. The first thing we learnt about the 6 basic freedoms which are granted to us as Indian nationals. Then we learnt about the limitations as to when our right to freedom can be curtailed. Now today we are going to learn about protection in respect of conviction for offences. Offences when you are guilty of committing a misdeed or doing something wrong. Conviction is when you are found guilty of the same offense. This is mentioned in Article 20. Now, first thing is, against greater penalty than what is prescribed under the law is prohibited. You cannot be, whatever is written in the law, that for a particular offense you will be only given this much of punishment. Until and unless there are it is of extreme nature, you will be punished according to the law only. Now, no one can be punished or prosecuted for the same offense twice. Your offense is once and you have already served some kind of punishment or you have been given a jail term, then you cannot be again found guilty of the same offense. Now, the third thing is, a person cannot be compelled to be a witness in the case where he himself is accused of the offense. If you are guilty of a misdeed, then the prosecution has to come up with witnesses or proof or evidence to convict you, to charge you as guilty. Now, in that, they can't ask you to stand against yourself. This is what is understood by to be a witness. You cannot be a witness to your own crime. No law can force you to do this. Now, protection of life and personal liberty. Under Article 21, a person cannot be deprived of his life and liberty except in accordance with the law. We all have the right to our life, and liberty is freedom. Now, children, again, except in accordance with the law. So, I'll quickly give you 2 examples over here. You all remember the Mumbai terrorist attacks on 26th November 2008. So, one terrorist, Ajmal Kasab, was captured alive. And then he was tried and later he was hanged. So, here, though he was not a national citizen, but he was found guilty of committing a crime on the Indian soil, so he was given a capital punishment. Now, this is about someone who was not an Indian citizen. I'll give you one more example. You all must have heard about Nirbhaya rape case. So, there were 4 major people who were being tried, and because the crime was so heinous, that they were given death penalty. So they were Indian citizens, and they kept on appealing to this court, that court, to convert their death penalty into life imprisonment, but their crime was of such nature, such extreme nature, it was so heinous, HEINOUS, that the court awarded them the death penalty. So over here they have no right to life or liberty because they happen to take the law in their own hand. Now let us talk about protection against arrest and detention. This is in Article 22. Ordinary circumstances. In the case of arrest, under ordinary circumstances, the arrested person has the following rights. If I have committed a crime, then if somebody has come to arrest me, the first thing they do is they will inform me of my offense, what I am guilty of doing. Then, secondly, they will to be presented before a magistrate within 24 hours. Now, within 24 hours of arresting me, they have to present me in the court of law. Now, such a person cannot be kept in custody for more than 24 hours without the permission of the magistrate. So the police has to file a charge sheet against me and present it in front of the magistrate in a court of law. Now it is up to the magistrate to decide whether the crime that I have committed, does it warranty that that I should be put behind bars, should I be in police custody, or should I be let out on bail, or I am free to go till the time the case comes up in court. Third thing is the right to consult a lawyer and prepare for defense at the trial. So India being a democratic nation, I have a right to hire a lawyer of my choice who will argue in the court on my behalf. Now let us talk about preventive detention. In case a person is detained under preventive detention, he can be kept in custody for a period of 3 months without trial. Such a person has the following rights. Preventive detention. Now there are some people who make it their business that they will rise up against the government for no reason, rhyme or reason. Anything coming up. So just to make sure that they do not encourage people to misbehave, or they themselves are not guilty, or they do not prevent the law or some rule from taking place, or natural governance, they are not obstructing the course of justice. So what happens, children? Such people are taken in detention beforehand, before they end up making some mischief, or some people are hurt because of them. Now preventive detention does not mean that a person stands accused. It's not, see, they have not committed anything. People only fear, okay, the organizations or the law agencies, they have this fear that they may disrupt the course of justice, course of law, or they might be harmful, their words, their actions might be harmful to the nation or its nationals as such. It is only a precautionary measure so that they don't end up making any mischief. Now detention beyond 3 months can be extended only by an advisory board. Advisory board, people who are expert on that particular matter will sit and decide, okay, or it can be just this advisory board cannot consist of just anybody, okay, they have to know what their business they are talking about. And advisory boards are constituted or formed for a special person, and they do consist of a judge of the High Court. So all these people have to be learned and they should know what they are talking about in that particular field. Now grounds of detention have to be specified and the detainee informed of these grounds. So in case some people, the government is worried that I am going to do some mischief. Now see children, during these days of pandemic, what is happening? Certain people are not letting the health services people and the police personnel do their job. Okay, they are instigating other people to rise up against such people. So before they hinder, see what will happen then? If the health services people do not quarantine people for 14 days or so, then they are going to spread the infection. So on that ground, as they are a major hurdle in dispensing proper health services to the ordinary people, that these people can be put in detention. Now when we talked yesterday, we talked about Article 370. So you must have heard in the news when this was going on, when the government was debating of making Article 370 ineffective, then all the political leaders of Jammu and Kashmir were put under house arrest. So this is the best example. So as they were under house arrest, they were not able to contact the media, no connection with the masses. So they could not entice the people or the general masses or the people of Jammu and Kashmir and the rest of India to rise up against the government decision of making Article 370 ineffective. So as a precautionary measure, these people were put under detention. So, and these people, we don't know, it did not happen in front of us, but these people would have been informed that this is the reason and this is the reason for which they will be under detention for such a time period. Now, he also has the right to make representation against the detention order. They can challenge this order in court. But again, everything, it is the severity of the measure. It all depends on the severity of the issue. Now, this also has limitation. Public interest. The authority or the state can take resources to public interest and refuse to disclose the grounds of detention. You may or may not be told about the reason as to why you are being detained. Power of the parliament. Now, the legislature or the parliament has the power to specify the maximum period of preventive detention. Now, when we were talking about these political leaders of Jammu and Kashmir, so it was the parliament which had decided, the union cabinet, okay, that these political leaders will be under house arrest for such a length of time, so that by the time they come out and they have access to media or the local people, by that time the government or the law agencies will be able to bring everything under their control. So just for now, we will only study this. Please go again through each and everything. Where you do not understand something, you are a bit confused, please rewind the video. Class 9, your syllabus is vast, so please take each and everything seriously. We teachers are putting in a lot of hard work to explain things to you, and anything which is not clear, please note it down and we will take it up again in the next class. Thank you.